Hey everybody, I'm Becky Adams. Thank you for stopping by my YouTube channel today. Today I have a layout that I wanted to share with you, but first I wanted to tell you about a deal that Scrapbook.com has on 3 of my favorite die sets. The typewriter die set, the Uptown die set, and the festive die set. These are all 3 awesome alphabet die sets that I reach for all the time. So on this first layout, I will be using the typewriter alphabet die set and the Uptown alphabet die set, as well as pattern papers from the Maggie Holmes round trip collection and lots of cardstock. So I have one 4x6 photo that I'm using on this project, and that's the first thing I want to do is get that adhered to my background, because everything else kind of goes around that. So the main, the main part of this layout, or one of the big parts of this layout, is the long title that I have, that I use the typewriter and the Uptown lowercase die sets for. So I guess Uptown is one die set, but I am using just the lowercase letters on this die set, or on this layout. It has both uppercase and lowercase. But what I'm really excited to show you is the way that I found to put all of these little bitty letters onto my layout quickly and easily. So you saw just a minute ago that I recently got a Gemini Junior in my craft room, and I'm so excited. This is the first project that I used it on. It seems a little extravagant, and it is, but I found that it really sped up my die cutting process. So you need 3 things to adhere your alphabet dies like this, or really any little intricate dies. And that is mint tape and the new dot runner from Scrapbook.com, which is what I'm using right now, and then your die cut letters. All of my letters are cut out of just plain black cardstock, and then right as they came out of the die cutting machine, I put them onto a piece of mint tape that I had kind of trimmed down to the size of that word, or in this case, the line. And I put them on there backwards so that you could, so that they're ready for me to put in place. And then when I have my layout or my project ready to go, I just flip over that mint tape, and then I put that dot runner adhesive on all the letters for, that word or that line, whichever I'm working on. And then I can just peel them off the mint tape and add them to the background of the layout. It works so much better than searching through a pile of die cut letters, trying to find the right one and messing with liquid adhesive, trying not to make a mess while you're getting your letters adhered. So I found this to work so much better than my old methods. So the first line in this title is the best, and you saw me get my ruler and pencil out, and I just made a very faint line on the background of my layout where I wanted those letters to sit. And then I do that for each line. And here I'm just measuring to make sure that I have about the same distance in between each of the lines. So the second line is parents get. And parents is in the Uptown font using the lowercase letters. And one of my favorite things about this font is that each letter is cut so that most of them you can join together to have more of a script font than just a block font. So these 2 fonts, the typewriter and the Uptown font, are perfect to go together to give that fun typography of a mixed font title. So there I had to make a little adjustment to the space that I put in between those letters, but it was really easy to just gently peel up those letters since I just put a tiny bit of dot adhesive on the back of the letters. I just peeled them up carefully and put them back down where I needed them to be. And then when I'm all finished, then I'll go back and carefully press down each of the letters really well so that they stay in place. But while I'm kind of putting things together, I just barely place them on the paper so that they don't stick down too tight and I lose that little bit of wiggle room that I need to have with such a big long title. One other thing to mention, you can use either one. There's two sizes of mint tape. There's a 1-inch roll, I believe it's a 1-inch roll, and then a 4-inch roll. I use the 4-inch roll because that's what I had right here at my desk. And it was nice to just cut sections off of it. It fit perfectly there to fit that word on. And then, anyway, but you can use either the 4-inch or the 1-inch mint tape. I would recommend having both of them on hand. I reach for both sizes all the time. And also, I should note that that's what I use to tape my dies down to the cardstock when I am putting them through my die cutting machine so that they don't move around while they're running through the machine. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm working with the Maggie Holmes Round Trip collection. And what I did is I just cut a whole bunch of different hearts, again using the Gemini Junior. I will leave a link to that in the description box below. If you don't have one of those, it is a really good, really fun investment to, I guess, a fun toy to add to your craft room. Anyway, I cut out a whole bunch of hearts using the 6x8 paper pad from the Round Trip collection and layered them together and then ran them through my sewing machine just right down the center so that I have these fun 3D embellishments to embellish this layout. One thing that I should note, this is obviously not a travel themed layout at all. It has nothing to do with travel, but there are so many fun pattern papers. I love the plaids and the stripes and the wood grain and the florals are so much fun to play with, and I had no problem finding enough pattern papers to do this everyday kind of layout. So I used a little bit of tape runner to just gently tack those hearts in place. And now I'm going back in with Scrapbook.com Smart Glue and adhering those in place. Typically I would use the tape runner, but since there's so many layers of paper that are stitched together, so there's some texture, I wanted to make sure everything stayed in place, so I used that little bit of liquid adhesive. So I have my new date stamp that I got from Scrapbook.com recently. It's the new date stamp from Paige Evans. As with everything else, I'll put a link to that in the description box below. I can already tell that it is going to be a favorite of mine. It's got a really cute font and has all the days of the week that you can put in front of the date. So that's kind of fun. And I'm just, after stamping the date, I have just a couple of notes of kiddos that were missing from this picture, but I still wanted to make sure that at least their names were included. So I adhered those just at the bottom of the date there. The two little bits and pieces that I used for the date come from the ephemera pack from the Round Trip collection. And then I'm reaching into the sticker book to find there were these adorable little vellum, I guess maybe not vellum. They're clear butterfly stickers, and I wanted something on the layout that wasn't hearts as to use as embellishments. So the little butterflies were perfect. So I'm just flipping through that sticker book to see if there is anything else that I want to use on this project. There's that fun arrow that kind of filled that gap to the left of the label where I put the date stamp. And then I thought for just a minute I was done, and then I noticed that there were some adorable butterfly puffy stickers. So I pulled a couple of those off there and finished things off. Then I needed to trim off just a little bit of the excess of that heart, and then it was ready. I'm ready to put my layers together. So this white cardstock I cut down to, I believe it was 11.5 inches square. The pink cardstock I cut slightly larger, and then the blue is the background, and of course it's just the 12 by 12. I don't know why I put my adhesive on the blue cardstock instead of the pink one. I don't know. But anyway, there is the finished layout. I wanted to show you a couple of layouts that I used the festive alphabet on. I used this on the background and then also the title. And then on this layout, I use that on the title. If you want more information on those projects, they are over in my Instagram feed. And my Instagram feed is linked in the description box below. I had one of these big hearts left, and I wanted to create a really quick card. So I just cut out a piece of pattern paper for the background and adhered that heart, and then I have the word mom. Since Mother's Day is coming up, I thought a Mother's Day card would be fun, and I just cut that the word mom using the festive die set. So we've used all three of those alphabet die sets from scrapbook.com in this video. So make sure you head on over to the scrapbook.com feed in the link. They have so many things, so many fun things going on today for the live stream and for National Scrapbook Day. So thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to spend with me here on my YouTube channel. I appreciate you all coming back and watching my videos. If you haven't done so, I would love to have you subscribe and to also hit that bell notification so that you know when I have a new video. Thanks again for stopping by, and I'll see you again soon.